In base building games, most players chase the big flashy weapons, automated building, or more. But sometimes, the most powerful upgrades are the ones hiding in plain sight. I'm talking about the tools and items that seem small, even forgettable, until you actually use them and realize just how overpowered they are. So today we're highlighting 10 underrated but overpowered tools in base building games. Fair warning, there are some spoilers ahead. Let's do it. First up is the artifact in Sons of the Forest, and this one is missed if you choose the quote-unquote good ending. If you don't know what I'm talking about, over the course of the game you collect these artifact fragments. There's 7 in total, but one only becomes available to you if you choose to stay on the island instead of escaping with Timmy and Eric. It's the plot device to keep you on the island, and after the end sequence, a new cave opens with the final piece. You're rewarded with the completed artifact, which lets you plate your entire base in Solophyte, making it strong and shiny gold. It also allows you to teleport back to a chosen location where and whenever you choose to. And most importantly, it allows you to activate the Bone Tower Repeller and Solophyte Generator, 2 very useful amenities in your base build. Maybe not leaving the island isn't that bad after all. Just wish we could get Kelvin to a doctor. At number 2, let's talk about the nail gun in 7 Days to Die. Now, it's one of the most well-known ones on the list, but in a game where maintaining your base is key to survival, having a tool to drastically speed that along is insanely important. In 7 Days to Die, repairing and upgrading your base during a blood moon is pure chaos. Every second counts, and while your friends are stuck swinging hammers, you're using the nail gun to fully upgrade steel blocks in seconds. It's not just convenience, it's the difference between surviving the night or watching your walls crumble. What makes it overpowered is that you don't need nails to upgrade and repair. That's just your ammo if you choose to use it as a weapon. It's a really great tool. Number 3 is a wild one, and credit goes to one of our subscribers and viewers, Master of Food, for the name. Let's talk about the sharks in Stranded Deep. Now, this isn't really a tool, but more of an exploit of the game's collision mechanics. We call it shark burning. In the early game, before you've rebuilt an engine and propeller, traveling between islands is a massive pain. Well, what if you just pick up a shark's body from the edge of your raft and slowly walk back until it's under the edge? You propel yourself forward at a ridiculous speed. It's a little tricky to control, but it makes for some of the best moments in the entire game. After you get the hang of it, it makes island hopping a blast and a breeze. Next up at number 4, we're heading into Fallout 76, and when people first see the Collectron stations in Fallout 76, they think it's a quirky cosmetic, a little robot walking around your base. Cute. But what if it actually silently gathers resources all day? Scrap, ammo, even caps. Over time, it becomes a massive source of passive income for your crafting and survival needs. You build it once, and it just keeps giving. Set it, forget it, and profit. And with the multiple types, you can really customize the one you want. Actually, really need to get back into Fallout 76. It's so much better than what it once was. Now, we've already talked about the sequel already, but let's talk about the Sap Collector in the Forest for number 5. Sap in the Forest is one of those things that you always need but never have enough of. It's used for crafting, repairing, weapon upgrades, you name it. But most players waste time cutting down trees and hoping some sap drops. A few sap collectors on your base's trees, and suddenly you're swimming in this stuff. Not to mention the aesthetics of a few sitting on a couple of your trees. You guys know where I stand. Sons of the Forest has the best gameplay, but the original Forest has the better story. Check it out if you haven't. For number 6, we gotta talk about the mud shower in Green Hell. There's a few underappreciated tools in Green Hell, like the composter, the pottery bench, and the fire bow, but I want to focus on something more practical to base building: showers. See, in the Amazon, you're gonna get dirty, and that dirt is filled with parasites. One stack of dirty hands, and you're risking gulping down some unfriendly bugs. Now, parasites are more of a nuisance in Green Hell than an actual problem, but when you're trying to build a base, the increased drain on your nutrients is a pain. The solution? Take a shower. It seems practical, but the mud shower is kind of a pain to build. There's some locations where you can't even get mud, so you have to exploit the game to get bricks up to a new level. It's worth it though, and you can see why during our Green Hell live streams. I have 3 of these set up at the airport, and during the dry season, they are lifesavers. I mentioned State of Decay 2 in our list of most rewarding base building games, and I want to touch on it for number 7 here. Let's talk about the Compost bin. As you build up your base and scavenge resources, you'll find these items called facility mods. They're modifications you can add to your in-base facilities that provide a bonus of sorts. For instance, until you set up a water tower outpost, you can attach a water cooler to the facility to provide it with water. Some are more practical than others, like the compost bin when attached to the garden. Essentially, composting increases the total yield of your garden. So when you have a massive base population, you can sustain their food requirements with ease. There's a couple of mods like this that drastically increase your base resource output or lower consumption without a morale hit, but the compost bin is always in high demand in my bases. Number 8, let's talk about the Sledgehammer and Project Zomboid. Keep the zombie games going for a second. Now, Zomboid is robust as you know, and it's insanely logical. Like, if you think about doing something in a survival situation, you can probably do it in Zomboid. The game is littered with tools that you'll constantly use, like screwdrivers, axes, hammers, wrenches, and more. There's one tool, though, that's insanely powerful, but you, like me, might have rolled dozens of characters before even finding the Sledgehammer. It's rare, but insanely useful. With the ability to destroy any block in the world, your Sledgehammer allows you to redesign and remake the existing structures in the game. Incredibly handy. Last zombie game on the list, I promise, number 9 is the filtering bottle in DayZ. Added in the Frostline expansion, Sakal is brutal, and most of the time the cold or your hunger and thirst are what do you in, not the infected. So it makes sense that you need to keep an eye on your water supplies. But in DayZ, disease is too common, and eating snow or drinking unclean water can cause some horrible problems. Smart players look for tablets to purify it, or you could just find the new filtering bottle as part of the Sakal quest objectives. Now you just have to load some snow and carry on. Granted, it's not perfect, some diseases can still slip through and it can break on you, but in a game where everything breaks on you eventually, the filtering bottle is refreshing. Pun very much intended. Lastly, let's chat about the Ziplines in Grounded. And I know some people hate them and feel it changes the gameplay too much, and I argue that that's the entire point. You first encounter these guys on the way to the Hedge Lab, and you need to repair one with spider fiber to progress the story. Shortly after, though, you unlock the ability to set up ziplines anywhere on the map. Not only does it increase your travel speed across the backyard, but it can be upgraded with an aphid to climb you up the slopes instead of just down them. I'll be back into streaming Grounded next week, so hit subscribe for more updates. So there you have it, 10 tools that most people overlook, but seasoned base builders know they can break the whole game wide open. Which of these have you used, or better yet, which of them have we missed? Let me know down here in the comments, and if you're into base building, crafting, surviving the odds, hit that subscribe button. We try to release survival and base building content on a daily basis. Special shout out to our members, thank you guys very much. This is Kevin for Base Legend, see you next time.